Hi guys, Julia here. Today I have the honor to be guest designing for Purple Onion Designs. I just absolutely love the stamps they carry, and I'm going to be using some really cute stamps today. This cute critter and then this Christmas stamp. It says hot cocoa. Hot cocoa, hot cocoa. It's actually meant for winter. It was in a winter release, but I'm going to be using it for a summer theme, and I'm going to show you how I'm going to do this. As you can see, the stamps are red rubber stamps. They work just like those clear stamps that you might be used to. The only downside is you can't really see through them, but we will fix that. I have stamped my images on masking paper, and as you can see, went through a lot of effort of cutting out masks, and will be using all of them. So here's how you stamp this. You need a stamp positioner like this Stamp-A-Magic by Inkadinkadoo. It's listed in the product and the supply list below. And what you do is you have this piece of acetate or plastic on which you stamp. And then you use this clear sheet to position it where you want it on your card. You don't move your card and you don't move the green thingy there. And then you slide in the your acrylic block exactly the same way as you did when you stamped on this clear sheet first. Okay, I'm going to show it to you a number of times now, so I guess you'll get it. You see I stamped it on the clear piece here, positioning this exactly in the corner, and then since I haven't moved the stamp on my acrylic block, I'm stamping it exactly into the same position right here. Perfect, isn't it? So I did some masking here for the stamping, and then I'm pulling this off just to show you how beautiful it is, and I'm starting to color this. Now I'm coloring this with my Copic markers, and I usually coloring from dark to light. I know there are different schools of thought here, but this is just my preference because I usually have trouble figuring out how much space I need to leave for highlights. And when I start with my lightest shade and put down an entire wash of the lightest shade and then go over it later on, I feel that I don't get as good a highlight as if I start with the darkest shade and work towards my highlight. It's just, as I said, it's personal preference. Whatever works best for you, this is just the way that I like to color and to get a good shading. And you can see that I'm using my lightest color here to quickly go over the darker parts as well, just to blend everything out. And then I'm also using it here for the eyes, and then to blend out the streaks, I'm using the colorless blender, which is the 0 here that I just used. And then for his nose and I guess for the feet or so, I'll be using these rosy colored colors. And then for the rest of the coloring, I'm gonna play some music for you and catch you on the flip side to show you how I created the background. Now here I've used some post-it notes to mask off the part of the image that I do not want to ink up, and I'm starting to ink and then I'm screeching because I'm like, oh my gosh, I forgot to mask this. Like, I've colored this critter and I forgot to mask him. So that was like a complete shock. But I refuse to throw stuff away, especially something that I've put so much effort into, you know, placing the stamps and everything. So now I've actually masked everything off as it was intended. And here you can see why I need all the little details from this bigger stamp masked off, or why I cut them out separately. Because, you know, it would have been way too hard for me to fuzzy cut this out in one piece, just in case you have a similar stamp. So it was easier to stamp this bigger stamp twice and then cut out all the details from the second time, from the second stamped image. So now I'm just blending two colors of distress ink together to create a background. And I'm sorry for the light. It's like the sunlight shining into parts of the image. My screen here, and you can see when I pull this off, it just looks pretty amazing because of the masking. It looks weird, but once you pull it off, it's just pretty darn awesome. At least that's how I feel. So, and here you can see like the colored in tail. It shouldn't have been colored in. I wanted it to be white, but hey, that's what you get when you're scatterbrained. So I'm just using a like medium gray marker to fill this in, so it's not green anymore. But yeah, nobody will know, but it's like, it just annoys me. But here you have a close-up of the card, and you can see that I added some sequins for sparkle, and I also just added some water drops and dabbed them off relatively quickly to create some more interest in the background. I hope you liked this video, and I'll have more for you soon. Thank you so much for watching, and see you again. Bye!